From the PEP Radio Newsroom, this is the evening news blast. LGBTQ Nation is reporting after months of defections by renegade school boards from affirmative state policies for transgender students in Maine. The Maine Human Rights Commission is suing 5 school districts for violating state law. The first school district, to revolt, broke with state policy in April, denying transgender student athletes the opportunity to participate in school sports. The superintendent of the district in a rural area in northeastern Maine was explicit at the time, stating that the school board sought to align itself with the president's executive orders keeping men out of women's sports and defending women from gender ideology, issued in the first weeks after his return to the White House. 4 other school districts followed suit through October, all of them urged on by a right-wing parents' rights coalition, the Maine Education Initiative. The group stalked school board meetings and provided sympathetic board members with cut-and-paste policy proposals, social media posts, and workshops promoting their discriminatory anti-trans objectives. All the new policies parrot the administration's order recognizing only 2 sexes, biological male and biological female, according to the court filing. The lawsuit filed on Monday in Kennebec County Superior Court asks a judge to order the districts to repeal what the commission describes as discriminatory policies, the Bangor Daily News reports. The school board revolt against the state's inclusive policies followed Maine Governor Janet Mills, the Democrat, very public confrontation with the president at the White House in February over trans student athletes in her state. Citing the Maine Human Rights Act, Mills said she'd see him in court. A lawsuit by the Department of Justice challenging Maine's inclusive interpretation of Title IX, which conflicts with the administration's own definition, is scheduled for trial in April 2026. Maine Human Rights Commission Executive Director Kit Thompson-Crossman didn't say in a statement if there were specific allegations of discrimination against trans students before the commission, but the suit alleges that school districts' discriminatory policies have led to threats of harm for students. In one case, the commission said it received a copy of an email in which an adult expressed the desire to, quote, make an example out of a piece of in the 3rd grade and wish the child and his parents would get a, oh, yeah, according to the complaint, we can't repeat that on air. School board meetings have been rife with discriminatory and threatening language from speakers about students they believe are competing on sports teams that don't align with their biological sex, the lawsuit states. One meeting descended into chaos when anti-trans protesters stripped to their underwear. Of course they did. The recent policies create a hostile educational environment for gender nonconforming students in each of their respective public school districts and throughout the state of Maine, 2 lawyers for the commission wrote in the filing. The commission's arguments over the legality of the school district's policies rely in part on a 2014 ruling by Maine's Supreme Judicial Court that states schools cannot prevent transgender students from using a restroom that matches their gender identity because it would violate the Maine Human Rights Act. The commission holds that this same non-discrimination applies to sports teams as well. While the suit points to the school board's actions inflaming tensions among the broader community of school districts in the state, Maine's anti-trans animus has slowed recently. The Maine Education Initiative failed to flip several school boards in November's elections, while just days later, the Select Board in St. George, Maine, voted against banning a trans student athlete from competing with a girls' recreational basketball team. The Maine Education Initiative's next target is the 2026 election ballot, where they hope to replace an initiative erasing transgender student rights statewide. That's News Blast for this hour. PEP Radio is available on the Live 365 app, the PEP Radio page at paequality.com, Roku, and Alexa. Up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast here on PEP Radio.